James, you've been so strong on the issue of anti-Semitism. I want to get your thoughts today. We've seen another disturbing incident that appears to be an anti-Semitic attack. A Melbourne rabbi who says he was left shaken after what seemed to be an explosive device, police think it was a firecracker, was thrown just in front of the pram he was pushing in St Kilda outside a Jewish school. Two men have been arrested over this. They have been interviewed by police. Police have said that they have no evidence that this is racially motivated, but they are still investigating. What do you make of this incident?
Well, Caroline, the evidence is, sadly, from bodies like the Executive Council of Australian Jury and others, that there are incidents like this almost every day in our country now, many of which go unreported, many of which go unpunished. And that is because anti-Semitism has been allowed to fester and get completely out of control on the watch of the Albanese government federally, but also particularly here in Victoria on the watch of the Allen government. We shouldn't be surprised, sadly, that there are shocking events like this happening all the time, because when there are no consequences for behaviour like this, the people perpetrating this behaviour become emboldened. They think that there's nothing to pay for what they're doing, and so they do it more often, and sometimes they even escalate their behaviour. I mean, it was reported yesterday that the first person has been charged under federal legislation for publicly displaying a flag of the listed terrorist organisation Hezbollah at a rally on the 29th of September. Now, you and I both know that this has happened almost every weekend in our major cities, in Melbourne and Sydney in particular, since the 7th of October, and this behaviour has gone unpunished. Why has it taken so long for the law to be enforced? Why has it taken so long for someone to be charged? And why on earth should we be surprised when that's the case, that terrible things like the firebombing of a synagogue or firebombing of cars in Wallara and other incidents continue to happen?
James, before we go, I just want to get your thoughts. You've been very strong in the Senate. In fact, I've got a quick clip here I'll play you of a brilliant question you put to one of the creatures of the swamp, sorry, my words, not yours, one of the esteemed Canberra bureaucrats, that's probably how I should say it, answering a brilliant question you put about why they had spent a fortune airbrushing the flags out of the background, the Australian flag, out of the background of the bureaucrats' photos on the website. Just have a quick listen.
What was the reason for removing the flags from the headshots?
Senator, I wanted to have photos that were less formal.
Senator, the flag is a big issue. Peter Dutton's come out correctly in saying he will only stand in front of the Australian flag. Meanwhile, those in the bureaucracy seemed ashamed of the Australian flag. Quite a contrast, Senator.
I very strongly support the stand that Peter Dutton has taken this week on the national flag. We have only one national flag. It is the appropriate flag for a Prime Minister to stand in front of when they are addressing the Australian people and on behalf of the Australian people. And it is just common sense from Peter Dutton. I was shocked to see Albanese Government Minister Malarndirri McCarthy say that because Peter Dutton values the Australian flag and wants to stand beside it, he's, quote, not fit to be Prime Minister. And you might have seen that SBS tried to do a fact check on Peter Dutton this week when he said there's no country in the world where the leaders stand in front of three flags and is a unified, cohesive country. And they said, well, actually, there's two countries in South America that occasionally sort of sometimes maybe have a second flag, which they occasionally use. I mean, seriously, in a time like this, in the world that we are in, we need unifying national symbols. We need things that we can rally around. And the Australian flag is overwhelmingly supported by the Australian people. It is really only an extreme fringe that is not proud of our flag and wouldn't want to see our Prime Minister stand in front of it. And that's what you'll see under a Dutton government.
Well, Senator James Paterson, I wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for coming on Outsiders, as you do. And I'm promising you a Christmas gift for next year, and that's your lot get into government. So I hope I can keep that, because I certainly, on behalf of Australia, that's what we desperately need to see. Have a great Christmas. James Paterson there, great bloke.